We're starting to take a look at some of these races here in Florida, looking at some of these even ratings here. 113 stuck out to me because it has no incumbent. This is an open race. She has moved on to bigger and better things. We're looking at South Miami Beach area and a primary on both sides. The incumbent has withdrawn and was never going to run this. What's really striking to me when looking at this is obviously we're in a gubernatorial year, and so 45% turnout is about what you'd expect. It's low, but it's what you get in these non-presidential years when there's not Donald Trump or someone else exciting at the top of the ticket for folks to come out for. However, if you take a look down at our historical turnout here, in 2024, 80% turnout is something you rarely see. And so 2024 really is throwing off our numbers. Even though we think 34,000 people are about to come out, right? Something slightly south of 50. The active voter universe is more along the lines of 60,000. Any of these people could come out. Some of them will. And so it's really hard to break down who exactly. It does leave you in a situation where you're spending more to outreach because you really have to do outreach to all these folks. So you're spending a lot more than you otherwise would reaching out to 60,000 people when 34,000 are going to turn out.
Right. There's a cost to having engaged voters, and that's good that you have this many engaged voters, but in the context of an off-year election, that makes it a little bit more challenging. But it also means that if you do good targeting and you do good outreach, that you will drive those individuals to the polls and put yourself in a better position to win. It just means that this might be a little bit more cost intensive and time intensive than some other districts where there isn't as good a turnout and engaged voters.
It also means that you're going to have to look at starting GOTV, getting out the vote and turning people out to vote a little bit earlier than you otherwise would. Right? There's going to be a much larger portion of voters who might turn out but won't. We're able to cut out 15,000 people who aren't going to come out. But there's another 25,000 that aren't going to come out this year because no one exciting is at the top of the ticket. And so it's really hard to differentiate exactly who that is. So I would be starting GOTV a lot earlier. It also means that the GOTV list that we usually look at, the people who are low turnout supporters, aren't necessarily the ones that you want to be targeting this election cycle. Because the size of the active voter list is so high, it really means that they have to be your priority targets from day one.
And one thing to keep in mind is that this is just a starting number. This is just a starting analysis to help you wrap your mind around what you are looking at, getting yourself into. And then there's additional layers of analysis that you can do. But what we see so often is people get overwhelmed, they don't get started, or they just don't have a plan at all.
Really, it's kind of rough because, again, the race here is so tight. R+1 means it could go either way. No incumbent at the top of the ticket really means that nobody has the voters' affiliation already independently, and a huge independent percentage here means that you're going to have to spend a lot of time in voter ID and persuasion and then go into GOTV early. And it's going to be expensive. There's really just no way around it. And if you want to see one of these for your district, head on over to Bootstrap Office, scroll down and fill this out. Ryan and I will get an email and we'll contact you super shortly.
Super shortly. Yeah. Well, check it out.